request everyone to continue standing for the national anthems of the two nations.
जनमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे
Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a privilege and a great honor to have the Honorable President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind, in our midst today. And after inaugurating and unveiling Mahatma Gandhi's statue in Parramatta, it's in fact a privilege to have him with us here. I think it's a great gesture of goodwill between the two countries. And now, as we proceed, I'd like to invite the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Marie Spain, to come and deliver her address to the gathering.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I acknowledge and thank Jim Vagey's national chair of the ARBC and board and committee members and people who put an event like this evening together for the work that they have done in bringing us all here tonight. I want to acknowledge my very good friend, the Premier of New South Wales, the Honourable Gladys Berejiklian MP, and my other state and federal parliamentary colleagues who are here in the room this evening. To His Excellency Dr. Ajay Gondani, the High Commissioner of India to Australia, to Mr. Volna, India's Consul General in Sydney, and to Her Excellency Harinder Sidhu, Australia's excellent High Commissioner to India. It is marvellous to be with you all here this evening. I also want to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet this evening, their elders past, present and emerging. And His Excellency the President was treated to a very special display of young Indigenous talent in Parramatta this afternoon, the home of the Bamadigal clan, the Eora Nation, the Darug Nation, and he made a particularly amusing play on words in his remarks, which captured the interest of the group. Can I say, in relation to the Australia-India Business Council, what a vital role you play in creating opportunities for individuals and businesses to commercialise ideas and to strengthen cultural exchanges. And a dinner like tonight, and it's fair to say that I've been with the group relatively recently in Brisbane as well, those sorts of events help to build a deeper and contemporary understanding between our two nations. My most particular welcome, though, this evening, and I do this with such pleasure and enthusiasm, having spent the day together, is to acknowledge and to welcome His Excellency Mr. Ramnath Kovind, the President of the Republic of India. It is wonderful to have the President and the First Lady here with us in Australia this week. Mr. President, you are very, very welcome. Of India's parliament, but also shining a light for young women in Indian politics. It has been a very busy day. The President and I have been together since early this morning, firstly with the Prime Minister, then with His Excellency the Governor-General, and the opportunity to have an inspection of Australia's Federation Guard, of which we are very, very proud, Mr. President, at Admiralty House at Kirribilli. But it's been an overwhelmingly positive day. Every single step, every single word that has been uttered, every single opportunity that we've taken to work together today has been overwhelmingly positive. And I would like to think that reflects the thoughts of His Excellency in terms of the relationship between Australia and India, and indeed it reflects the visions that he has set out in his remarks over the past few years himself. I think his words, and I have had the opportunity to reflect on some, convey with quiet passion his commitment to a free, sovereign, plural, egalitarian India, to health, to education and to dignity for all. The President's work reminds us that even our most cherished shared values, democracy, free enterprise, the rule of law, important as they are not ends in themselves. And Australia's Prime Minister, the Honourable Scott Morrison, also likes to remind us that while we work every day to grow and strengthen the Australian economy, it too is only a means to an end. Ultimately, though, a strong economy matters because it gives us the means to protect ourselves and to stay safe. It enables us to invest in essential services, including health and education and our welfare safety net. Australia's open economy improves our competitiveness, generates more and better paying jobs, gives us access to new ideas and technology, and lowers prices ultimately for consumers. These are very important thresholds for any government. I have seen His Excellency this afternoon connecting with a very important part of India's diaspora during his visit. Today in Parramatta, with the Prime Minister, with Dr. Jeff Lee, the excellent member for Parramatta, in a community in which I have worked now for 21 years, the President had an opportunity with the Prime Minister to see a cross-section of the Indian diaspora there in the heart, the geographic heart of Sydney. It's fair to say that I think he will now sign on to the agreement that the Prime Minister and I have had for some time, which is about the vibrancy, the contribution that Indian Australians make to this country, contributing so strongly to our multicultural fabric and connecting our two nations. But, and the President reminded us of this afternoon at the Australian Financial Review Forum, there is more that can be done to harness both the insights and the entrepreneurial spirit of this community. And Mr. President, I have spoken with your Minister, with your parliamentary members about this today. We want, in Australia, the Indian diaspora to go from strength to strength in our public life and in our business circles, increasing its cohesion and its impact even as it celebrates and makes the most of its diversity. As a proud resident of Western Sydney, I see this at first hand, the growing positive impact that the community makes in Australia. In fact, I don't have to walk very far beyond my office door in Macquarie Street, Parramatta, to see some fabulous examples in Harris Park and other parts of Sydney of the contribution that Indian Australians are making to our economic, our social and our cultural life, and, importantly, to Australia's relationship with India. We were in the park in Parramatta this afternoon to watch the Prime Minister and the President unveil a beautiful bronze statue of Mahatma Gandhi to mark the 2019 commemoration of his birth 150 years ago. Gandhi's message, as the Prime Minister has said today, of peace and tolerance and courage is universal, and it is timeless. And it is fitting that this memorial to his life has been placed in a location so central to the diverse everyday lives of the people of Parramatta and Western Sydney more broadly. While no country is perfect, India holds true to Gandhi's ideal that the power to accept and respect constraints is greater than the power to impose one's will. Or, in the words of the President himself, the power to stay your hand is far greater than the power to strike with your hand. India, 71 years into their modern independent nationhood, is a reminder to the world of the merits of democracy, of rule of law, a strong private sector and an increasingly open market economy. For the Australian government, we think that two of our most important jobs are to establish rules and then to stay out of the way so that our people and our businesses can reap the rewards of their own ingenuity. We recognise that while we can set directions and put the enabling conditions in place, it's private initiative that really makes things happen. And that's why I, as Foreign Minister, emphasise economic and commercial diplomacy in close partnership with Australian business. In our increasingly competitive world, Australia's influence and prosperity relies more than ever on the performance and growth of Australian businesses of all sizes, at home, within our own region and further abroad. Our economic and commercial diplomacy has 5 strands. We promote investment, the fuel on which our economies grow across national borders. We remove barriers to trade so that both sides can benefit. We support Australian businesses so that they can compete abroad. We connect scientists and innovators, and we resist protectionism and stand up for a global rules-based trading system. Today, my Prime Minister, the Honourable Scott Morrison, set out another very important chapter in our economic and commercial diplomacy, and that is the government's strong response to the India Economic Strategy to 2035, prepared by Australia's former High Commissioner to India, former Secretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, Mr. Peter Varghese. For all of you who are here tonight, if you haven't already, may I suggest that you download the report and get studying. It's a significant body of work, but it sets out the enormous potential of the Australia-India bilateral relationship. And I particularly want to commend Mr. Varghese, a consummate professional in the work that he has done in the preparation of the strategy. Our economic partnership with India has no equal for what it offers Australians, as 1 1/3 billion Indians expand their opportunities and their horizons. And it is now time, as the President reminded us, as the Prime Minister agreed, to start realising the potential of the bilateral relationship. As the President said, the pitch is ready. The Varghese report sets out an appropriately ambitious agenda to do just that, and we are backing the strategy, and in so doing, backing Australian business engagement with India. As announced by the Prime Minister this afternoon, the government strongly supports the report's 10 recommendations for the short term and 10 more for the medium to long term. we'll focus our economic diplomacy efforts on the 10 Indian states that the report recommends and the 10 sectors where Australia's competitive strengths align with India's trajectory. And in a significant commitment, the Prime Minister will appoint a ministerial champion for each of the report's 4 lead sectors: education, agribusiness, resources and tourism. And my ministerial colleagues in those portfolios will oversee the ongoing implementation of the strategy. Our India economic strategy is important for all Australians, and it should challenge and stimulate Australian businesses of all sizes to look to position themselves for long-term success in a diverse and contested market. As an example of the focus on practical cooperation between our two nations, I was also pleased to witness with the Minister today the exchange of 5 MOUs that further strengthen our bilateral ties. MOUs covering investment between Austrade and Invest India, scientific cooperation between the CSIRO and India's Central Mine Planning and Design Institute, agricultural research between the University of Western Australia and Acharya NG Agriculture University, and joint PhD programs between the Queensland University of Technology and Delhi IIT. Ladies and gentlemen, the power of the private sector lies in its sharp focus on identifying what people want and value, and then delivering it efficiently. Business has that knack of bringing fresh perspectives to occasionally seemingly intractable problems. Government can certainly learn from the private sector, but we can also share our expertise of the socio-economic landscape, of markets and of the broader political context. Together, business and government can form partnerships that leverage further investment and generate sustainable commercial returns. That's why the government has established the Business Partnerships Platform to help businesses, together with NGOs, deliver on Australia's development objectives. And in 2018, this year, we launched the Business Partnerships Platform, the BPP India Window, to help identify and support scalable partnerships that can contribute to India's economic growth and address development challenges. And tonight, I'm very proud to announce the inaugural 4 recipients of the Australian Government's Business Partnerships Platform India Window. And congratulations go to Village Energy, which is using innovative Australian technology to provide smart meters and rooftop solar energy in remote villages in Andhra Pradesh. Pollinate Energy, for improving energy security with affordable solar solutions. Karma Healthcare, an operator of virtual health clinics where rural patients consult city doctors online. And the Madhya Pradesh Poultry Company, a successful agribusiness which is expanding its farming activity and providing greater employment opportunities for women. Our business partnerships are leveraging scaled-up private sector funds, and in turn, these businesses are delivering private sector growth and prosperity in India in an inclusive and sustainable way. Congratulations to all of those recipients and winners. The strategic importance of the economic strategy, as Peter Varghese notes, is that a strong economic relationship with India strengthens Australia's economic resilience. So India looms large in our plans to diversify our economy and to hedge against global volatility. So the strategy is an important component of our wider international agenda. Without doubt, we are living in a more contested and uncertain strategic environment which requires us to take an active approach to our international engagement. And we'll focus in particular on influencing the evolution of the Indo-Pacific region so that it remains open and inclusive and prosperous. India is central to Australia's vision to ensuring that the Indo-Pacific makes a leading contribution to global prosperity and security. And I was very pleased to be at the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore in June to hear His Excellency the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, make very significant remarks in relation to that openness and prosperity of the Indo-Pacific. And I'm delighted that in January of this year I will travel to New Delhi for the Raisina Dialogue, now a premier strategic forum that underlines India's engagement in both regional and global affairs. Together, Australia and India are setting a high standard, for example, in strengthening the law of the sea in the Indian Ocean. The recent maritime settlement between Australia and Timor-Leste complemented the earlier settlement of India and Bangladesh in the Bay of Bengal. And Australia and India are cooperating closely in IORA, the Indian Ocean Rim Association. Our shared commitment to democracy adds another dimension to our international cooperation, evident here in the Pacific, where India, Australia and Indonesia recently together co-chaired the Multinational Observer Group during Fiji's elections. We should be both practical and visionary in devising more ways for Australians and Indians to work together on a great project, the great project of an inclusive, secure and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, without doubt, Australia and India have a very bright future together as economic partners and as champions of a prosperous, resilient and open Indo-Pacific region. A large part of that future, that connection, comes from the very many Indians in Australia and Australians engaged in India. Mr. President, this afternoon you called the diaspora a living bridge. I think that's a term of art. I think it's a very powerful metaphor for what a strong, enthusiastic, contributing diaspora can do here in Australia and of Australians in India. And I look forward to walking the path of the living bridge with you, Mr. President, and the leadership of India, and working together to further deepen the Australia-India partnership in the months, indeed in the years ahead. Thank you.
Honourable Minister, thank you for those insightful words and also setting out the vision that you had for the relationship between the two countries. And what better body than the AIBC that has been championing this cause for so many years. And now I'd like to invite the chair of AIBC, the national chair, Jim Verghese, who we heard has the Verghese report and the 10 points that he raised. Let him come and address the gathering.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I should like to start by acknowledging the Honourable President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind, His Excellency, the High Commissioner of India, Dr. A.M. Gandani, Her Excellency Harinder Sidhu, our excellent High Commissioner of India, the Honourable Premier of New South Wales, Gladys Berejiklian, the Australian Minister for Foreign Affairs, Senator Marise Payne, has given us an excellent speech. Mr. Anat Kumar Hetke, the Minister for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Mr. Van Lavanna, the Consul General of Sydney, distinguished MPs from India and Australia, including Jodie Mackay, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the delegation from the Confederation of Indian Industry, headed up by President Rakesh Mittal, Ashok Jacob, the Chair of the Australia-India Council, and Shiba Niyakanwa, the immediate past chair of the AIBC and a member of the Australia-India Council. As with the Minister, can I acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Ora Nation as traditional custodians of the land we meet today, and I pay my respect to elders past and present. On behalf of the Australia-India Business Council National Board of Directors, I welcome you all here for the AIBC India Annual Address. This is a flagship event for the AIBC. Now, in its 32nd year, we're in here for the long game. We were established by the then Prime Minister Bob Hawke and Rajiv Gandhi. We are the only private national body working to promote the bilateral trade and investment between Australia and India. We are very focused on business-to-business relationships. We maintain close relationships with the Australian federal and state governments, the Indian government through the High Commission of India in Canberra, and I really thank Dr. Gandani for his great support, and the various consulates generals in the major state capitals, the diplomatic corps, the industry bodies, the business community of our two countries. We showcase the tremendous opportunities that are available in India to the Australian business community through an active program of events throughout Australia. We also play a key role in the policy and advocacy space. This was illustrated in our submission to the India Economic Strategy, Navigating from Potential to Delivery. And look, can I just acknowledge the excellent work of my sibling, Peter Verghese. I can't take credit, I'm a different Verghese. He's done a good job there. The strategy acknowledges the ARBC as a significant player in the bilateral trade, and we are taking that inspiration to become a more business-based council. Now, today we've heard, both with the President's address with the Indian diaspora yesterday evening, and today at the Financial Review Summit, we've heard about the tremendous opportunities in India. The $15 billion in 2017 to around $45 billion measured in today's dollars. It sees investment increase from $10.3 billion in 2017 to surpass the $100 billion mark in 2035. So the scale of the potential is evident, but results won't just happen. As the second half of the Verghese report says, it's about navigating from potential to delivery. So I see the ARB's role as how can we translate this enormous potential that India offers into tangible business, lateral and investment opportunities. By the same token, how can Indian companies looking to expand their operations globally make inroads into the Australian marketplace? The answer to these two questions will be the yardstick by which our performance and our success as a business advisory council will be measured. So we are grateful, Minister, to use the economic strategy as our policy framework for the Australia-India Business Council. And we are really working hard on that. And we're also going to call upon the great history we have. So I acknowledge our presence of our Emeritus Chair Neville Roach, our former Chairs Dipin Ragani, Brian Hayes, Harish Rao, Professor Arun Sharma, and of course Sheba, our immediate past chair, and also Barbara Ward here in New South Wales, our very energetic president, and Sanjay Boshne in ACT. I mention them because we are a national network body enthusiastic to deliver outcomes that will help us take the Verghese report into action. We're going to use those 10 sectors. We're currently going to use our industry chapters. We're in the process of refocusing them from digital education and training to women in business to in fact fit in with that report. But we're going further than that as well. We're also going to be working to customize that report, take in the report of the Government of India, of the states and territories here in Australia, and update it and bring out our strategic plan in due course. We're also actively going to organise targeted business delegations. The immediate one from the 18th to 20th of January is the Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit. Been to these now, 2 of these over the last 4 years, and they are really worth going into to see the changes taking place in India. And we will continue to host our business delegations. Our state chapters will continue to do that, working with the state governments and our key stakeholders. So I'm pleased to say that the multidimensional Australia-India bilateral relationship is flourishing in every sphere, be it business, security, government to government, people to people, sport, education and culture. Now we have 700,000 Indian diaspora, and they're all very active in the business-to-business space. But can I say that we are an Australia-India Business Council. So we have both the Indian diaspora and active Australians who are non-Indian origin involved with ARBC. And that balance is becoming quite good and enthusiastic, and we see that powerful combination of enhancing the relationship in Australia and India. So early this month, India jumped 23 places to 77 in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business. That's great. And while on this subject, let me bust the myth that India is a difficult place to do business. Indian companies looking to set up operations in Australia have found they're going much harder here than any Australian company has experienced in reverse. I'll just cite 2 examples. My good friend, Didi Saxena, I'm glad that he's heading up this forum, struggled for more than 5 years to set up Riverina Oils and the bioenergy in Wagga. It now crushes and refines more than 200,000 tonnes of oilseeds a year, making it the largest export oil in the country, bigger than even Grainco. It is a world-class, state-of-the-art manufacturing facility, and it's been done here, exported from India, started here in the Riverina region and put through. The other example, of course, is Adani, whose ongoing quest to be in operations in the Queensland Galilee Basin has been only too well documented. Can I say, and I'm proud to say this, it is good to see one of India's biggest investors in Australia, the Adani Group, as our platinum sponsor. It is important that Adani, as a major investment in our coal industry, is treated fairly and given a fair go. It is not in our tradition of giving everyone a fair go to do otherwise. It is encouraging to hear that they've secured all the approvals for the project in central Queensland. It's going full steam ahead, but they're also making every reasonable attempt to correct any misinformation that has been associated with this important project. So Australian businesses looking to expand their operations in this Asian century need to shed all views about India, roll up their sleeves, and adopt whatever it takes to cash in the opportunities. So in concluding, can I once again welcome our chief guest, the Honourable President of India, Sri Kovind, and helping make this address a great success. I acknowledge our sponsors, Platinum Event sponsor Adani, national partners McCulloch Robertson and Deloitte, national gold partners NIB and Australian Super, prize partners Air India, Taj, Macquarie Golf and Australian Cruise, our co-host, the High Commissioner of India in Canberra, the Consulate General in India, here in Sydney, and at the end of the day, our agenda in trade and investment could be summed up as everything we do is to enhance the Australian-India trade relationship. Everything we do, including our social networking. Let me conclude in the words of Mahatma Gandhi, as it's the 150th celebrations are upon us. Let us become the change we want to be. Thank you very much. It's now my very great pleasure to invite the Honourable President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind, to address us. He needs no introduction and is well known to all of us. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Her Excellency Foreign Minister Maurice Penn, Her Excellency Premier of New South Wales, Mr. Jim Varghese, Chairperson of the Australia-India Business Council, distinguished members of the Council, ladies and gentlemen. I am happy to address this National Australia-India Business Council event. The Council has been a key player in driving Australia-India businesses and investment connect. I applaud your initiatives and efforts. We commend your economic outreach and as much your strategy to get Australia-India stakeholders from diverse areas together. These have obviously paid rich dividends. India and Australia are close and natural friends. There is a special comfort and bond between our two countries. Our shared values and commonalities, not the least our passion for cricket and cinema, have helped us establish a vibrant partnership. In recent years, we have stepped up our strategic partnership, deepening our engagement in defense, security, technology, and people-to-people ties. There is matching energy and heightened policy focus on our trade and investment relations as well. In this context, I am happy that the Australian side has come up with the India Economic Strategy Report. We welcome it. It has promising ideas and prospects. We also welcome Australian government response to the report. Prime Minister Morrison's articulation on this few hours back has been most encouraging. The AIBC, I am sure, will take lead in supporting the recommendations. Ladies and gentlemen, India and Australia share strong economic complementaries. Australia's steady and stable growth over several decades has made it a shining story, and India's economic rise today is a global talking point. Built on this shared prosperity, our bilateral trade in goods and services has jumped over 75% in the last 5 years and stood at $21.5 billion in 2017. Our service sector engagement based on education, professional services, and tourism flows has also seen a significant jump. We can, no doubt, do much better with a forward-looking mobility partnership. India remains committed to take the proposed comprehensive economic cooperation agreement forward to further boost our trading ties. Our investment relations, however, comparative to our respective economy size and prospects, are yet to take off. The two-way cumulative investment stands at just under 30 billion Australian dollars. I am certain this would change fast and soon. Australian pension funds, high-end technologies, and innovative products are a natural fit for Indian growth and development. We can do a lot more together, be it on trade, investment, technology, skills, or education. Prospects and possibilities are not just manifold but limitless. We should collaborate with each other on cyberspace, artificial intelligence, blockchain development, and next-gen technologies to shape and guide the fourth industrial revolution. And we should harness the potential of blue economy and green growth for the benefit of future gens and a climate-smart world. Ladies and gentlemen, the prospect to collaborate and transact gets even more magnified if you see it in the backdrop of the transformational economic changes happening in India. India has been the fastest growing large economy in the world for quite some time. Last quarter we grew 8.2%. With the current GDP of 2.6 trillion US dollars, we are on course to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025. During the same period, India is set to become the third largest consumer market in the world. Our path-breaking economic reforms have led to a jump of 65 notches on the World Bank Ease of Doing Business Index in the last 4 years. And the introduction of the goods and services tax has made India, a country of 1.3 billion people, into one nation, one tax, one market for the first time in its history. India has been ranked as the 58th most competitive economy in the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Index for 2018. India's rank rose by 5 places as compared to 2017, the largest gain among the G20 countries. Global investor confidence in the country is at all-time high. We received FDI worth over $200 billion in the last 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Indian infrastructure sector is booming. We have built 10,000 kilometers of expressways last year alone. We are at work to build 100 smart cities, 7 high-speed train corridors, and 10 greenfield airports. For Australian super funds with considerable investable surplus and its resource sector, our infrastructure projects present an exciting opportunity. Similar business opportunities exist in the Indian agriculture and food processing industry as well. We seek your collaboration in putting up logistic chains and water and energy efficient agri-tech techniques to boost our food security options. In the energy field, we are adding new capacity in nuclear, renewable, and conventional segments. We have a target to achieve 175 gigawatts of renewable energy, including 100 gigawatts of solar energy by 2022. Over $250 billion worth of investment are projected to flow into the sector over the next few years. We are keen to leverage Australian technology, business practices, and expertise to enhance our Make in India, Digital India, Clean India, and Skill India programs. Thanks to our sustained efforts, India has emerged as key manufacturing hub of the world in several areas, including passenger cars, two-wheelers, consumer electronics, and mobile handsets. Our IT startup, fintech, nanotech, and biotech capacities also provide immense opportunities for Australian market to learn and earn from. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a world of opportunities waiting for you in India. They are enticing you to run, to leap, and to hop, skip, and jump. I like your cultural expression, mate, and mateship. I hope to see more mates and mateship between the business communities of Australia and India. Excellency, Honorable Foreign Minister has been with me since morning, and even during our personal conversations, I thought she happens to be a good foreign minister. But after hearing her address, I thought she could be one of the best finance minister as well. I take this opportunity to thank the Government of Australia for welcoming Indian businesses in this country. I am confident of their continued support. Let us work together for a stronger Australia-India engagement. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा